all town! Even if I don't make the headlines, at least give me a sidebar mention. Hey! Why, if it isn't Nikki herself! Oh, thanks to you, I was able to dig up the tune that Cersei used to whistle. A melancholy girl gazing at the wheat fields.
It means you're really talented to dig up such details. I wonder if you know Benny just as well.
That guy only has Madame Julie and Cersei on his mind.
Ha! Don't underestimate me! In just a few days, I was able to uncover nearly all the secrets held by those folks from Siccia. Everyone, except, of course, for the mysterious Leora. Yeah, but that's only a matter of time.
Please, tell us.
Benny? He was a great talent scout who made Cersei famous back in the day. They were both incredibly close to each other. When Cersei won the Golden Siccia Best New Artist Award, Benny cried so hard backstage he couldn't even keep his sunglasses on. Ever since Cersei unexpectedly died, his career dried up. Now, even the drink shop thinks he's bad luck and won't hire him.
Yikes! That workplace in...
After all, his temper and the scar on his face didn't win him any favors. Not to mention his...
Prison? What happened?
I remember it had something to do with Threadstar. Let me check. That briefing was stolen by Mr. He shouted, "Oh, the ink upon every single one of the newspapers will forever be my stage! I can't wait to get to Barrel Grove and share my art again!" After declaring that, he... Who knew that even columnists have to watch out for robberies too? I'll be avoiding him from now on.
Sounds like something Mr. Leon would do. I think we should avoid him too. Nick...
First, we should go find where Leora is. She's probably busy setting up Julie's savoring...
What? These two Pieceys have gossip I don't know about?
Knowing too much might just get your newspaper snatched.
But I don't know which of the seeds will bloom. Who will be the sorceress to get through the storm? That's from As Rain Falls, As Flowers Bloom, right? It feels so different. That line only appeared in the premiere. I rewrote it later on. Benny, back then I always liked to oppose things he liked on purpose. After all, when I first arrived in Siccia, I felt like a bird finally flying far away. But Benny said little birds are light. Sometimes it's...
Wow.
He's always been stuck. We managed to expose Benny and Cooline's lies, and even piece together how they teamed up. Leora, do you recall there being any connection between Benny and Threadstar? Back then, I was so focused on researching performance costumes that I distanced myself from almost everyone. After becoming... However, back when Mr. Leon was still human, he often rented costumes from him. And Mr. Leon has always lived in Siccia. As a victim, he must remember the news.
Makes sense. Knowing him, he'd definitely jump at the chance to be interviewed and go...
Thank you, Leora. Sorry to trouble... It's okay. I've asked myself over and over, if Benny is a criminal. When I was helping prepare for the Ripple Estate soiree stage, I heard that Mr. Leon was planning to rehearse...
Nikki, what should we do next?
If that's the case, why don't we go directly to Mr.
Then let's wait for him near the Barrel Grove.
Oh, this world is even sadder than the drapes at the Backwater Theater.
Mr. Leon, sorry to bother you. Did you see Benny before or after the poisoning that day?
Benny? No, I didn't see him. Why? Do you think he was the one who stole the suitcase? He doesn't honestly think that a few scraps of cloth will cover that broken face of his and hide his shameful past, does he?
You seem to know Benny's past well.
Of course! It all starts with my own glorious... A boy more fragile. then an unfinished script. When he arrived in Sicia, his dreams were even bigger than the city. Even though he had already become a piece of living art, that era of foolishness trailed behind his shadow. On snowy nights, his monologues put the basement's hairband slugs to sleep. The applause that should have followed, lost along their way. Until one day, a kind gentleman gave him a gift powerful enough to shake the world, whispering, "Wear it, wear it." He knew everything has a price. Nightmares, pain, reminding him of their existence. He went back to perform the full submission again and again, in hopes to awakening this ignorant era. But he fell, forever left upon the platform leading to his dreams.
Could that man be from Threadstar? Ugh. So they used everyone's dreams and it cost your life. But, what does this have to do with Benny?
Dear audience, don't be like those who know nothing of art, ready to tear away fates every intermission time. Shall we have a little preview? Look at you, such furious faces. Surely you've seen through the gods' twisted little trick. Such pitiful jealousy. Sending that evil messenger, Benny, with fake generosity and kindness, politely selling costumes to me.
I mean, Benny was Cersei's only agent. I never suspected that he could possibly be one of the culprits behind selling all those stage costumes.
This is exactly... Mr. Leon, thank you for your help. I never expected that you too were hurt by Threadstar and never got to perform your solo show.
It's fine, it's fine. Every step on stage I make now is rehearsal. Oh, just wait and see. The boy who fell on the platform will be back, carrying all the scripts for
Nikki, can we finally take down Benny now? Let's expose...
This suggests a link between Benny and Threadstar, but we'll still need solid proof that he's the one who stole the suitcase if we want to expose his secrets.
But no one suspected Benny when we investigated the suitcase theft case before. Where do you think we should start digging from here?
Miss Nikki. There were plenty of audience members obediently seated under the stage.
You mean... Oh, right. We questioned Squeaky and Belford, but we got caught up with running around. Maybe she'll link Benny to stealing the suitcase.
Then what are we waiting for? Come on, let's find Leora and ask her.
I think I was here. And then... Leora, are you recalling what happened the day the suitcase was stolen? Miss Nikki, yes. While you were all busy with the questioning, I just stood by doing nothing. I felt so ashamed. I thought that if I could recall some overlooked details, maybe I could help. That's fine. In fact, we were thinking the same thing. We came to hear... Of course. As always, the first to receive the dawn's first light that morning were the on-duty staff, so they would be able to quickly return to their post. After I applied it and was about to head back, I noticed some staff were already showing symptoms. I had a bad feeling, so I ran here, hoping to meet Gordon. When I arrived, I saw Squeaky pressing juice there. She's usually really energetic, but at that moment she seemed unusually agitated.
If you say so, it really sounds like she must have already been hallucinating back then. She was talking about flying fruits, runaway...
At the same time, I saw Belford approaching. He carried a bunch of detergents, but was already unsteady. It sounds like Belford was about to hallucinate too. I wanted to help him, but I quickly started to feel dizzy myself, stumbling and bumping into him. lots of detergent spilled. The smell was strong. Oh, this must be the fragrant fireworks Belford told us about. But then I started hallucinating too. I can only remember some fragments. A yellow bulkhead with 2 blue-purple horns, wearing a blue-purple jewel on his neck. Well, I thought the bulkhead might charge. While dodging it, I bumped into a sack, and I think I may have cracked it.
Do you think that bulkhead could be Belford? I remember his yellow hat having 2 blue-purple patterns. Just a thought.
That's a possibility. Then suddenly I heard a loud shout ring out.
You'd rather have perfect wheat fields than accept the Barasant I bring!
Something like that.
That has to be Mr. Leon. I think your version of this line is better than his original.
That was him. I was startled then. I saw the bulkhead run away, felt danger was coming, and left quickly. It looks to me like both you and Squeaky were scared off by Mr. Leon's shout. When I came to my senses, I was at a remote water spot, soaked through, and there was no one nearby. So that's what happened. We met the other witnesses Leora mentioned to us, but I can't shake the feeling that there should have been one more Piecey there. The thief. They couldn't have disappeared without a trace. But what exactly feels wrong? Don't rush things, Miss Nikki. Maybe we can simulate an interrogation. Treat me like a suspect, find any inconsistencies in my story. Maybe the great idea. We should get started. Ready, Miss Nikki? We'll start when you... Leora, could you please describe again what happened nearby that day? Especially the part where you... Not a problem. When I arrived here, Squeaky seemed already caught up in hallucinations, pressing juice with wild agitation. Belford was on the other side, transporting detergent but already unstable. I tried to help, but felt dizzy and accidentally bumped into him. After that, I fully slipped into hallucinations and fought with an imaginary bulkhead. Well, I think that was a mistaken vision of Belford. Later, I was startled by Mr. Leon's passionate performance. With Belford pacing around nervously, we both left the place.
That matches with Mr. Leon's testimony. I don't see any issues.
Later, I was After that, I fully slipped into...
That seems to match Belford's testimony.
After that, I fully slipped into... Belford was on the other side, transporting... Not a problem. When I arrived here...
That info matches Squeaky's testimony. I don't...
Not a problem. Belford was on the other side,
That's what Belford told us earlier. Is there anything that doesn't line up with the scene?
Belford was on the other side, transporting detergent but already unstable. I tried to help, but felt dizzy and accidentally bumped into him. Not a problem. When I arrived here, Squeaky seemed already caught up in hallucinations, pressing juice with wild agitation. Seems consistent with my description. Miss Nikki, the real gap might lie somewhere... Not a problem. When I arrived here, Squeaky seemed already caught up in hallucinations, pressing juice with... Belford was on the other side, transporting detergent but already unstable. I tried to help, but felt... It seems consistent with my description. Belford... After that, I fully slipped into hallucinations and fought with an imaginary bulkhead. Well, I think that was a mistaken vision of Belford. It seems consistent with my description. Miss Nikki, after that, I fully slipped...
That seems to match Belford's testimony.
After that, I Later...
That matches with Mr. Leon's testimony.
Later, I was startled by Mr. Leon's passionate performance. With Belford pacing around nervously, we both left the place. It seems consistent with my description. Miss Nick. Later, I was startled by Mr.
That totally not palmed special blend must be really potent. The hallucinations everyone had were so different. Detective Nikki, do you see anything suspicious?
Not a problem. When I arrived here, Belford was on the other side, transporting detergent but already unstable. I tried to help, but it seems consistent with my description. Ready, Miss Nikki? Leora, could you please describe again what happened? Not a problem. After that, I fully slipped into hallucinations and fought. Belford was on the other side, transporting detergent but already Got it. Leora testified that she bumped into Belford and accidentally spilled detergent all over the place. Since both of the hallucinating Pieceys left after that happened, there's no way they could have neatly arranged the detergent. But last time we investigated here, we saw lots of organized detergent bottles near where they bumped into each other. Someone stood the bottles back up, and that Piecey who did so is very likely the culprit. This one's sent. It's Benny. Why do you think it's Benny? I'm not sure you remember, but I mentioned when Benny was my agent, he was incredibly attentive, helping me organize clothes, even tidy. Scripts I carelessly left lying around would be stacked neatly, and any makeup I may have spilled on my desk would be arranged just like these detergent. I should mention, this detergent scent is the one Benny. We often see Benny washing his hands. It seems he always. Yeah. Although this fragrance he usually uses is quite common and very mild, when placed alongside these other... Moreover, only this bottle has been slightly used, and the bottle's cap has an extra seal ring inside of it. If Benny stole the suitcase, after doing the dirty work of lockpicking, he'd want detergent. I now suspect that the big sack I accidentally bumped into, after being startled by Mr. Leon's performance while I was hallucinating, Benny was washing his hands while he was also startled by Mr. Leon, bumped into you. Exactly. That's definitely possible. But so far, it's just speculation based on Benny's...
Exactly. And since this detergent is so common, Benny could easily blame another Piecey for leaving it behind.
I think we'll need to dig a little deeper. This interrogation simulation has been really helpful to us, Leora. It would be my pleasure. Ready, Miss Nikki? We'll start when you are. If this bottle of detergent with a different scent really was dropped by Benny... Oh, I see. In that case, when Benny was looking for the detergent that he had dropped, he tidied up the spilled bottles by force of habit. But if he had the time and energy to do that, how could he have not taken the detergent he... Indeed. In his case, not having detergent is probably as bad as not wearing clothes. I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. Miss Nikki, what do you think?
Nikki, think quickly. All the spilled detergent here has to come from just one...
I think maybe he... Indeed. In his case...
Let me think about it.
Indeed. I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. Miss Nikki, what do you think? This might not be related to what we're discussing now. What we need to fix... I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. Miss Nikki, what do you think? This might not be related to what we're discussing. I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. Miss Nikki, what do you think? This might not be related to what... I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. Miss Nikki, this might not be related to what we're I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. This might not be related to what we're discussing. Ready, Miss Nikki?
If this bottle of detergent with a different scent really was dropped by Benny... When Benny was looking for the detergent that he had dropped, he tidied up the spilled bottles by force of habit. But if he had the time and energy to...
Indeed. In his case, not having detergent is probably as bad as not wearing clothes. This might not be related to what we're discussing now. Indeed. In his case, not having detergent is probably as bad as not wearing clothes. This might not be related to what we're... Indeed. In his case, not having detergent is probably as bad as not wearing clothes. This might not be related to what we're discussing. Indeed. In his case, not having detergent is probably as bad as... This might not be related to what we're discussing. Indeed. In his case, not having detergent is probably as bad as not wearing clothes. This might not be related to what we're discussing. Ready, Miss Nikki?
If this bottle of detergent with a different scent really was dropped by... When Benny was looking for the detergent that he had dropped, he tidied up the spilled bottles by force of habit.
Indeed. In his case, not having detergent is probably as bad as not wearing clothes. This might not be related to what we're discussing. Indeed. I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. Miss Nikki, what do you think? This might not be related to what we're discussing. I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. This might not be related to what we're discussing. I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. This might not be related to what we're discussing. I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. Miss Nikki.
I remember Belford mentioned that the only detergent he's been transporting recently is the Super Duper Palmed detergent. It doesn't smell like anything.
I see. Since the bottles all look alike, and the scent difference is minimal...
Even if Benny did grab the Super Duper Palmed detergent by mistake, if he's already thrown away that bottle, we can't investigate.
Maybe we can find supporting evidence from other testimony. Have other witnesses seen anyone with a distinctive appearance in their hallucinations? Like how I saw a sack with a big tear. There doesn't seem to be any description related to Benny's specific... Ready, Miss Nikki? We'll start...
If this bottle of detergent with a different scent really was dropped by Benny... Oh, I see. In that case, there's... When Benny was looking for the detergent that he had dropped, he tidied up the spilled bottles by force of habit.
Indeed. I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one. Miss Nikki, what do you think? This might not be related to what we're... I think maybe he did take a bottle of detergent, just the wrong one.
I remember Belford mentioned that the only detergent he's been transporting recently is the Super Duper...
I see. Since the bottles all look alike...
Even if Benny did grab the Super Duper Palmed, if he's already thrown away that bottle, we can't...
Maybe we can find supporting evidence from...
Let me think about it.
Have other witnesses witnesses seen anyone with...
Besides Leora, there's Belford, Squeaky, and Mr. Leon. Nikki, did any of them report...
Have other witnesses seen anyone with a distinctive appearance in their hallucinations? Like how I saw a sack with a big tear.
Oh, Squeaky said she saw a big sack split open after being scared by another noisy sack. Maybe what she actually saw was Benny, who got a big shock from Mr. Leon.
That's definitely possible. Looks like I'm not the only one who saw a hallucination resembling Benny.
So the truth has been right in front of us all along. We just didn't see it.
Great! Now we have both the detergent he dropped and the descriptions mentioned in everyone's testimony. Nikki, can we go interrogate...
I'm still a bit worried. Will these ambiguous pieces of...
I also feel something's missing. From what I understand of Benny, the more stressful the situation, the more eloquent he gets.
We've seen that behavior before. Even with a mountain of evidence, he just keeps arguing. Hey, could this be a trait of a showbiz...
You could say that. In the ruthless entertainment world, it was a skill he... Given his personality, when faced with this evidence, he'll probably claim he was poisoned and ran to the scene, but he'll firmly deny touching the suitcase.
Yeah, I can picture that. Looks like we need solid proof to show he did actually come into... Leora, please help me one more time.
Ready, Miss Nikki? We'll start...
I think the key is right here. How can we prove that Benny made contact with Madame Julie?
To prove that, we need to find marks on the suitcase that only he could have left.
Right. Nikki, did you see anything that might be suspicious?
To prove that, we need to find marks on the suitcase that only he could have left.
Madame Julie's suitcase is covered in dirt and scuff marks.
If Madame Julie saw it, she'd be upset for sure. But she carefully picked the fabric for this suitcase. It shouldn't be this fragile. Dirt or wear and tear. These might be the crucial clues to cracking the case. Benny definitely washed his hands with the super-duper pumped detergent he grabbed by mistake, but this detergent doesn't have any distinctive scent. Besides the scent, well, what kind of flaw could super-duper palmed possibly cause?
I remember the effect of super-duper pump.
Besides the scent, well, what kind of flaw could super-duper palmed possibly cause?
Alan once told us that Super Duper Palmed can amplify the effects of other types of detergent. So powerful that the estate won't even sell it to any up.
That's especially true when it's combined with One Breath Bliss and One Wash Fresh detergents.
So that's it. Madame Julie's suitcase has always been maintained with One Wash Fresh, and that detergent has deeply soaked into the fabric.
That's why Gordon could make a special tracking reagent to help us find the suitcase.
But when One Wash Fresh is mixed with Super Duper Palmed, it becomes a detergent with cleaning power that's too strong. The marks on the suitcase aren't from wear, but damage caused by washing.
Oh, during the theft, the suitcase was covered in dirt, and Benny washed it with the detergent he had on hand.
Exactly. It's probably because he realized the fabric was getting damaged that Benny didn't dare keep cleaning. Otherwise, with his obsession for cleanliness, Leora, could you help think this through? With this evidence, is there any way he could still...
Considering Super Duper Palmed is not officially sold outside the estate, this evidence is quite conclusive.
He's got nowhere left to run.
Considering if he were desperate enough to fight back, maybe he would try to claim the marks were there.
We can't let him get away with that excuse. Nikki, think fast. How can we prove the suitcase didn't have those marks before?
If he were desperate, the suitcase did travel with Madame Julie to Sichia and was used in faking her death. So it's possible... The suitcase did... If he were desperate enough to fight back, maybe he would try to claim the marks were there before the theft? That might not be enough to refute his excuse. If If he were desperate enough to fight back, maybe he would try to claim the marks were there before the theft?
This is it. This is the photo Palmy took when the choo-choo train delivered Madame Julie's suitcase. Look, the suitcase...
Those obvious wear marks must have appeared after this photo was taken. Miss Nikki!
So this is what really happened that day. While everyone was hallucinating, Benny snuck onto the scene. No one knew that a new guest had arrived at that time, except for Colleen. After stealing the suitcase, Benny washed his hands out of habit, using the detergent he'd brought. Then, Mr. Leon shouted his lines, startling all the Pieceys. Leora knocked over Benny's detergent bottle. When he went to pick it up, he couldn't help but organize the scattered bottles. But he took the wrong detergent, the super-duper pond. Then he left with the wrong detergent and the suitcase. The estate was chaotic during those few days, so no one saw. Later, because the suitcase was so dirty, he tried cleaning it, but didn't expect the reaction between super-duper pond and bad seeds only grow bad fruit. Eventually, he left behind a flaw.
Why did he choose this path? He cares deeply about his wounds, yet he joined Threadstar.
Leora, we still don't know how deeply Benny's involved. Let's...
Yeah. Although he definitely helped steal the suitcase, we haven't... The ledger isn't his, and the golden vision notes aren't with him either. He already served a century in prison and got hit by his own accomplice. Before we jump to conclusions, decide whether he's truly a bad Piecey or not.
Prison? I guess I didn't know everything about him. It's fine, Mr. Momo. Thanks for helping uncover the truth. If Benny really is a key member of Threadstar and tried to harm Madame Julie, even if he's got his reasons, or if he introduced Threadstar to me, even without meaning to...
Right. Before we find Benny, let's take this suitcase to Alan's for an inspection. With a professional detergent expert's report.
All right, let's go. With Nikki and Momo.
Oh, by the Silvergale! Isn't this Madame Julie's suit? The sovereign of sexy should always be elegant, charming, and flawless. From their...
Actually, we wanted to ask you about the damage on the suitcase. We're wondering...
Well, you have certainly come to ask the right person. As a detergent tester myself, I am the most familiar with how to identify different types of detergent.
So, Alan, can you tell what they are?
Unbelievable. Which staff member was so careless to make such a basic mistake? Both detergents, One Wash Fresh and Super Duper Palmed, were detected on the suitcase. Their combination created the special Super Clean Palmed formula, which is too strong.
Just like we guessed. Do Pieceys that come in contact with the special Super Clean Palmed formula...
Definitely. That is why this special formula was only sold internally. The Ripple Estate doesn't even... Who made this mistake? Bring them here, and I'll test them thoroughly.
That's great! Sorry, Alan, we're a bit pressed for time right now, but we'll fill you in on... Momo, let's find Benny.
Here we go again.
Benny, we brought solid evidence this time. There's nowhere left to run.
No way. You're just trying to trick me. You really think I'd believe you? How many times do I have to repeat myself? I've got nothing to do with Threadstar.
So desperate that you're spouting obvious lies?
How many times do I have to... No way. You're just trying.
It's the end of the line, you...
No way. You're just trying to trick me. You really think I'd believe you? How many times do I have to repeat myself? I've got nothing to do with Threadstar!
A minor offender involved in coercive sales and forced rentals, sentenced to 100 years in prison with...
How? How did you find this? Don't bring that up. No!
You served Threadstar centuries ago, and we should believe you're not involved with them now? Benny, if you keep this up, you'll only end up back in prison. And for even longer next time. Why won't you confess?
No! An old newspaper can't prove a thing! It happened so long ago. How is that evidence?
Oh, he's a...
No! An old... I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! She...
We wouldn't bother coming back if we had...
I never stole the suitcase. Centuries ago. I had no idea that Threadstar's... Centuries... I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! She's the one who did it! No proof? Then let me go. I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! She's the one who did it! No proof? Then let me... I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! She's the one who did it! No proof? I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! She's the one who did it! No proof? Then let... I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! She's the one who did it! No proof? Here we go again.
Benny, we've brought solid evidence.
Here we go again.
Benny, we've brought solid evidence this time. There's...
No way. You're just trying to trick me. How many times do I have to repeat myself? I've got nothing to do with Threadstar!
A minor offender involved in coercive sales and forced rentals, sentenced to one...
How? How did you find that?
You served Threadstar centuries ago, and we Benny, if you keep this up, you'll only end up back in prison.
No! An old newspaper can't prove a thing! It happened so long. I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! She's the one who did it! Centuries ago. I had no idea that Threadstar's costumes were even made like that. I have nothing to do with them! Centuries ago. I never stole the...
We wouldn't bother coming...
I never stole the... Centuries ago. I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! She's the one who did it! No proof? I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! No proof? Then... I never stole the suitcase, or tried murdering Julie. Colleen! No proof? I never stole the suitcase or tried murdering Julie. Colleen!
Do you see it now, Benny? Madame Julie's suitcase has traces from the mixture of Super Duper Palmed and One Wash Fresh.
So what?
Where did that Super Duper Palmed come from? The only explanation is if someone left their own detergent behind, and
No!
actually, we've got another crucial piece of evidence. If a professional investigator examines you, they'll tell whether you're truly as clean as you claim. Maybe you ended up just as over-clean as the suitcase after coming into contact with the same mix of super-duper...
Enough! Enough! Stop talking about things I already know! I know I damaged the suitcase. I know I hurt the Pieceys. I know I'm an accomplice, but I've already tried to break away. Why can you just not let me go?
You've gone to prison for a century and still don't get it? A bad seed always bears bad fruit. Some mistakes should...
You don't know anything! What if that bad seed was just me being born? What if his dream was to be a perfect star, but an accident ruined his face? What if I was born from the nightmare wrapped in that damaged costume from such a disaster?
That seed wasn't bad. Even with that scar, you're still an excellent talent scout, helping a country girl step onto the stage. And your insistence on prop safety spared her.
How? How did you know? Cersei?
Yes.
I've always wanted to ask her something. If I had not insisted on the original schedule that day, would she never...
She was doomed to die. She was investigating Threadstar's costumes and was targeted.
How come? No, I should have known. I rented those costumes. I just didn't dare to think about it. After I got out, I was a ragged scrap with a 100-year sentence, shunned by everyone. Only Threadstar gave me a chance to keep creating perfect stars. So I told myself it was okay, that I was just a fringe Piecey on the sideline. I stole the suitcase, but I didn't want to think about what was inside it. I kidnapped the Pieceys, but I didn't...
A crime is still a crime. No matter how you tried to dodge it before, this time you still bared your claws at Madame Julie and tried to kill...
I didn't. I'm not qualified to do such an important mission. Colleen assigned my tasks. She didn't even tell me Julie was still alive.
Julie was still alive. Leora, do you remember that when we were investigating in the Ripple wine cellar, Colleen...
She did. She seemed unaware that Julie faked her death.
The attack on Madame Julie... Could the real mastermind still be hiding in the abandoned district? We need to ask Colleen...
She won't cooperate. She joined Threadstar to find her missing twin brother. That's the only thing she truly cares about.
Missing? What else do you know?
She'd rather talk to birds than to other Pieceys. Maybe because she once had a celeb crow named Cece. She's always been closer to those birds than Pieceys.
Cece? Could it...
This scarf! Tommy said Mr. Simon and his sister once raised a celeb crow called Cece together.
But Simon is already...
Leora, would you be able to visit Tommy and borrow Mr. Simon's relics?
Okay, I'll be right back.
You'd better help her see things clearly. She doesn't need to live the way I did.
There's just one more thing. The regret from back then shaped who I am today. A patched-up me. Someone with courage and patience, no longer afraid to face all the wounds, regrets, mistakes. Everything is fixable. I hope you can forgive.
If only Leora had told Benny this sooner. Benny's done so many bad things, no one's going to forgive him.
Maybe what Leora meant was that having regrets and flaws doesn't mean that life has to end. It's never too late to start mending, you know? Still, the worst of it is Threadstar.